Good Saturday morning, everybody. Chris here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to this week's episode of What Every Cruiser Wants. I have 3 new cruise comments for you this week, and we got everything from why don't I get something for free? Why is this rule going to change? Which it isn't. And then we got some utter rude entitlement. The world revolves around me for that last comment. So definitely stick around for the last one because in my opinion, it's a doozy. So here we go with comment number 1. Now we've seen this type of comment before. So before I read the comment, I want to say, look, every person's job out there is important. The jobs out there, no matter what it is, it serves some type of purpose. It takes care of something that needs to be done in society. And so you can look and say military, you can say, first responder, you can say teacher, doctor, nurse. Yep, all those jobs are important, but don't forget that so are so many other jobs. Okay, how about the garbage man who comes every week and picks up your garbage? Because if he didn't, it'd just be piling up outside in your yard. You gonna tell me that individual's not important? How about the people that build roads so you can drive from place to place? How about the construction workers that build your house, that build the buildings? How about the people down at the shipyards that build our cruise ships that we love to go out and sail on? Everybody is important. How about if you're in a rush to work in the morning? Are you not thankful for that individual that made your coffee at Starbucks or your Egg McMuffin over at McDonald's? Come on. Everybody does something important, even if you don't think about how important it is on a daily basis. So as a cruise line, they cannot honor every single profession out there. They cannot give something away or do something special for every single profession out there every single time. And I understand wanting recognition, but when does it go beyond recognition and maybe become about jealousy because somebody else is getting something that you're not? So military retired get a discount. They get a party. They get a bar to drink in. They get special messages. They get a raffle for free cruises. What does Carnival offer a paramedic, police, and firefighters? Nothing is the answer. Nothing. At least we should be part of the raffle. At least we should be on stage with the military veterans for the photo. If you are in the union, should get a discount of some kind. So cruise lines do a military appreciation event. They all have some version of it. Okay, now I've been to these events where they do also say paramedics, firefighters, police officers. They also mention and talk about their first responders. So they're not just kicked to the curb. They're just not forgotten, but it is a military event. But this comment reads to me more about somebody gets something for free that I don't get. That's kind of how I'm taking it. So the military gets a discount. The military gets a party. The military gets a bar to drink in. Of course, anybody can drink in this bar. They're talking about the Heroes Bar on board Carnival Cruise Lines, but anybody can go in there. It's not like it's just military only. They get a raffle for a free cruise. Military veterans get on the stage and do a picture, but why can't I be in that picture? Other than the fact you're not a military veteran. How about that? And if you're in a union, you should get some kind of discount. Which is why I say, to me, this reads more of a somebody is getting something that I don't get. I am upset. I want it. That's how I read it. You guys may read it differently. Again, I want to say, yes, paramedics, firefighters, police officers, teachers, nurses, doctors, garbage man, baristas at Starbucks, and yes, the person making your Egg McMuffin. Everybody is important, but a cruise line cannot have every single person of every single job, of every single profession up there on the stage. It wouldn't even be a cruise anymore. They have chosen military. But you guys let me know what you think. Is this really about the fact that they are a paramedic, firefighter, or police officer and they're not being properly honored? Or does this read more to you as, hey, somebody's getting something that I don't get to get, so I'm jealous, and so I want to write a comment and talk about what I should be getting? Now, I love when people write in comments claiming they know something or they have some kind of insider information, and maybe they do, maybe they don't. Don't know who these people know, but then they write a comment about it. Now, they're not polite about it. They're definitely on the rude side with it. They're a bit demanding, a bit condescending. And then the cruise line has to come back and say, yeah, no, that's not what's going on. And then, to me at least, the whole basis of the comment, and then at least to me, the whole premise of this comment is wrong. But let's take a look and you guys can help me decide. By the end of 2024, every U.S. citizen will need a passport to cruise on Carnival ships. I have a credible source close to what you call a senior beard that has already said this will be the case. Many U.S. citizens do not want to stump up the $130 to get one. Given all the new voter ID laws, passports be free? Has Carnival really thought this through? Let me answer my own question and say no. Only 30% of Americans have a passport. How do you like them apples? So there you go. He knows somebody who swears that, by the end of 2024, every single person will have to have a passport to cruise on Carnival cruise ships. Now, Carnival's already come back and said, nope, that's not the case. They do not have any plans to implement that. They don't have plans to make it a requirement that every single person have a passport. And according to Carnival, you know what? That's actually determined by the U.S. government. That's determined by some of the cruise ports they visit. The cruise line really doesn't make that determination. Now, there are some cases, even sailing in the United States, on a closed loop cruise where you are required to have a passport. Not because the cruise line says so, but because the destinations require it. And this is for closed loop cruises departing from the United States. So right now, if one of these cruises is going to Colombia, Costa Rica, Panama, or Greenland, a passport is required. It's a requirement from that country. Now, of course, if you're flying, going to Europe or any of those places, yes, a passport is needed. Okay, but closed loop cruises from the United States, even some of those require a passport. And I've said it once and I've said it twice, so I'll say it a third time. Look, yes, you can cruise on a birth certificate and an ID. If you think that a passport is just absolutely not necessary, go Google what happens on some of these trips and some of these cruises to these people that don't have passports. There are stories. They get stuck in other countries. They can't fly home. It takes weeks to get the paperwork processed through immigration. And all of that is at their expense. Yes, it's right. I mean, yes, you can do it. If that's how you want to cruise, you do you. I will continue to cruise on a passport. $130 for something that is good for 10 years is what? $13 a year for peace of mind, knowing I can always get back home. But I do think it's funny how these people swear up and down they have this insider information that only they know, and then they're going to try to call the cruise line out on their own information, only to get told that's not the case. And while maybe only 30% of Americans have passports, but I bet that number is way higher for those that cruise year after year. I bet that high number is way higher than 30%. But what do you guys think? Passport yes, passport no. And do you think that it should be a requirement that everybody have a passport for all of their cruises, or should it stay just the way it is, birth certificate and ID for those that just don't want to get one? And finally, we got the comment I promised you guys about in the beginning. And we're going to talk about being late. Let's talk about being late to dinner, the main dining room. You book early dining. You know your dining is what, 5:30, 5:45, 6 o'clock. You know that's what time your dinner is. You know that's what time you have to go to the dining room. But you had something else going on. Something else you wanted to do. You were off the ship enjoying the port. So you come back on the ship way past the time that your dinner is supposed to be. You go to the dining room anyway, and then you get upset that they tell you no, they can't seat you? Who doesn't understand how time works? You go to a job, I assume, on a regular basis. Do you not have to be there on time? I can say for me that after all my years in the military, I cannot be late. If it looks like I am going to be late, it actually starts to really bother me and affect me, because I've always been told if you're not 15 minutes early, you are late. That is something the military drilled in my head, and to this day, I cannot violate that rule. it's ingrained in my body to not be late. But for this person, they think the cruise line should accommodate them no matter what. They think the cruise line is wrong for not accommodating them. And they're rude and they're demanding. And yep, they're entitled when they don't get their way. On our recent Pride cruise from Rome, we had a table of 10. After long days in port, we did not always make it on time for early seating and came into the main dining room at intervals. This really threw our servers off and therefore our service suffered. One evening we were all 40 minutes late. That is all. The restaurant manager told us we had to eat at the buffet or come back and see if there was a table available at late seating. That is not acceptable with teenagers. If Carnival puts a cruise together with long stays in ports, then expect many to be late. We were punished for being 30 minutes late. Unacceptable. You are monsters. So this didn't even happen one time. This happened multiple times where they would come in, this group of 10 would come in at different intervals late into the main dining room for their early seated dining, and their service suffered because of it. Maybe your service suffered because you are late and your servers are trying to, get everybody in, get everybody fed, get everybody out, and prepare for the next seating. That wasn't enough for you to get the hint that maybe the problem is you. No. Now, in the first part of this, you are 40 minutes late. 40 minutes late to your dining time. Using the excuse, well, we were in port. We were busy. You should accommodate us. Just because we're 4 minutes late doesn't mean we don't get to sit down and eat our dinner. Well, guess what? Turns out you don't get to sit down and eat your dinner. You get sent to eat somewhere else like the buffet. But that's not their fault. They're not wrong for this. It's the cruise line, because doing that to a group that has teenagers, well, that's just unacceptable. If Carnival's in port, well, they should just expect everybody to be late and accommodate them. Okay, that's on Carnival. Second half, we were 30 minutes late. Well, I thought it was 40 minutes late a few minutes ago, but we'll skip over that where you put two different times in your own story. But the cruise line, now they're monsters for not letting you come and eat 40 minutes late. Wow, zero sympathy for this person, especially when the answers and the solutions are so simple. First of all, if you want to eat in the main dining room and you are typically late to things, or you look at your itinerary and say, well, we're going to be in port till 6:30, 7 o'clock. I don't want to book early time dining because I may not make it. Well, cruise lines have this wonderful thing, this awesome opportunity called anytime dining. They also have a late seating dining. They have buffets. They have other options. Now keep in mind, this was on Carnival Cruise Lines. So you're going to tell me that you got back on the ship late. You're going to tell me that the teenagers in your group were just absolutely unwilling to go up and eat Guy's Burgers, unwilling to go up and eat some Blue Iguana, unwilling to go up and eat some buffet. My kids were teenagers once too. They'll pretty much eat just about anything. It's like, okay, instead of going down and sitting down for this dinner, you guys get to go raid Guy's Burgers and eat burgers and fries. And then right next to it's the ice cream machine. Go to town. My teenagers it'd have been a dust cloud as they took off. So I don't buy this teenagers in the group thing either. If you can't be on time for something, that's on you. If you show up to the main dining room 40 minutes late, that is on you, and they are not going to seat you, nor should they. They were absolutely right for telling you to hit the bricks and take yourself up to the buffet. Because you know what? They have to get early dining through. Then they have to clean and reset the dining room in preparation for late time dining. So nope, don't feel for you at all. I think the fact that you would write a comment and blaming the cruise line are monsters for your actions, for what you did and for what you caused, really says a lot about you as a person. But you guys tell me what you think about this comment. Should the cruise line have accommodated them? Should the cruise line have said, oh, it's only 40 minutes, come on in? Or do you think they were right to tell them, hit the bricks, go eat somewhere else? You guys let me know what you think about this comment. And that's going to be our video today for what every cruiser wants. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Are these people right, or are these people wrong, or are these people really just out there losing their minds over things that they can control? I hope everyone has enjoyed today's video. If you have, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't done so yet, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It is free to do so. Helps our channel grow. Let you know anytime we put out a new video. Hope everyone out there is having a really great day and a really great weekend. And like always, we will see you out on the high seas.